Pretty much holding in the low to mid 50s, cooler right along the lakefront. This was the first batch of showers and storms that went through the area about 5:30 to 6 o'clock. But watch, a second batch formed very quickly and has moved across western DuPage County and into northern Cook County, right now hitting neighborhoods such as Northbrook, Deerfield, and now moving northbound into the Waukegan area. These storms, I don't think they're going to be severe, but they'll probably produce rain, probably producing visibilities down to about a half mile or so. A lot of fog out there as well. Not a good day for air travel at either O'Hare or Midway. Be prepared, probably some lengthy delays as well as possible cancellations. 50 degrees right now in Midway, 46 at both the lakefront and O'Hare. But look what's happening just to the south of us. It's 70 degrees, 70 at this hour in St. Louis. So you can see the warm front is pretty much just to the south of us, and that's usually where these storms begin to fire up. Big area low pressure out to the west of us. A lot of cold air moving down the back side of it. They're going to get anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow in Colorado today. Well, we're going to be plagued with some heavy rain, not only later on this afternoon, but also tomorrow. But watch what happens during the day on Saturday. I think much of the rain will be south of Chicago. So it looks like things will be drying out right in time for the weekend. Finally, there's some good news from the Weather Center. 55 today, 50 tomorrow, 52 for an afternoon high on Saturday. We may see some sunshine late in the day on Saturday and especially into Sunday. And it looks like Monday of next week, probably the best day out of the next 5. Stay dry, everybody. Bob, Marianne.
Thank you, Rick.
746 traffic. Here's Sheila.
Thank you, Bob and Marianne. Big delays out there because of this fog at both O'Hare and Midway. If you've got a flight to catch this morning, you're going to want to call first just to make sure your flight will be leaving sometime today. We'll take a look at your travel times. We've got a trip on the inbound Eden's about 20 minutes, 40 if you're heading out to Lake Hook Road, 40 from the airport into downtown. It's pretty slow most of the way in. 25 from the junction in the local lanes, only saving about 5 minutes in the express. On the outbound side, delays begin at Diversey, go most of the way out, and the Eisenhower is 50 in from Route 53, 25 from Mannheim. On the outbound trip, there is an accident near Austin that they just cleared. It's 47 out to Route 53, and the Stevenson travel time, 46 minutes in from 294 and slow through both roadwork zones. In on the Ryan, 32 minutes from 95th. We do have a crash on the inbound Bishop Ford at the Ryan. They just cleared it from the right lane. That's actually causing delays from 103rd, so hopefully those will thin out. Southbound Drive at 14, slow from Lawrence down to North Avenue. And on the northbound side, about 17 from Marquette to Monroe. Watch out for an accident at Illinois that they are in the process of clearing. We still have this problem out on the northbound side of I-55. It's near the Braidwood exit, which is about 20 miles south of Joliet. We've got a rollover semi still blocking all lanes. Only one lane is open southbound. That may be out there for quite some time. And that is traffic. Bob and Marianne, back over to you.
Thank you, Sheila. 748.
On to the news with Mike.
Marianne and Bob, police say the snow falling in Littleton, Colorado is not helping their investigation. The snow has covered much of the outdoor evidence. They'll need to determine the course of events. 15 people, including the 2 gunmen, are dead. Authorities say they have hundreds of people to question, and they'll scan computer records for clues. Last night, a vigil was held to remember the victims and to help others heal.
And our God, we are here because we are desperate people tonight with broken hearts.
When the SWAT team came to get us out, we didn't know if it was them or the other gunman.
And at the time, the gunman was shooting down the hall at my direction, and by the grace of God, I was missed.
Columbine High School will be closed for the rest of the year. Seniors will likely just graduate early. Other students will be transferred to neighboring schools. Locally, Chicago Alderman Ed Burke wants uniformed police officers to patrol the Jerry Springer Show. The show already has off-duty officers working as bouncers to keep guests under control, but Burke says if guests commit crimes, police officers should enforce the laws.
If people are committing crimes at the Springer Show, like battery, assault and battery, or public nudity, why isn't the police department taking action? And I think it's a reasonable question to ask.
A spokeswoman for the show had no comment about Burke's proposal. A shootout in West Suburban Downers Grove has left 1 man dead and the town's police chief injured. Last night, 35-year-old Gregory Palma barricaded himself inside his home when police responded to a call. Palma was apparently trying to force his way into a neighbor's home. After a 4-hour standoff, police say Palma opened fire and hit Chief George Graves in the leg. Palma was killed in police gunfire. The chief, Mr. Graves, was treated for a leg wound. Last night's storms caused some fiery damage as lightning struck homes in a couple of the suburbs. In South Barrington, lightning hit 3 large homes. One had more than $500,000 in damage. Nobody was hurt. And a lightning strike in Inverness sent a mother and daughter to the hospital. They suffered minor smoke inhalation when the lightning sparked a fire. The blaze nearly destroyed the second floor of their home. House Speaker Michael Madigan is expected to testify later today in the extortion trial of Miriam Santos. Yesterday, Treasury employee Patricia Herrera said that she was afraid Santos would fire her for filing a complaint with the Ethics Board. And turning now to the crisis in Kosovo, there are some new developments to report on those 3 captured American soldiers. Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic has ensured their safety. He made that promise to an American reporter who was granted a rare interview with the Serb leader. Milosevic said, quote, "Nothing will happen to your soldiers," and he added, "We are a very old people with a long tradition of respecting POWs." And when asked if Red Cross officials could visit the soldiers, Milosevic responded, "Not every day, but from time to time. I don't see that as a problem." Well, while Milosevic talked, NATO bombs were busy hitting Serb targets, including one that Serb officials say was the home of Milosevic. The Belgrade building was destroyed, but NATO maintains it was a command center, and they have no information that it was actually used as a home. Reports say Milosevic and his family were not inside at the time. Meanwhile, Allied warplanes struck several other targets, including a Serb factory and homes in the central part of the country. And NATO has given the go-ahead now to revise plans for a possible ground invasion. That's another check of our top stories this morning. Back over to you guys.
Thanks.
7:51 business headlines. National Lewis University will move this September to 122 South Michigan Avenue, doubling the size of the school's downtown campus. The building was designed by Daniel Burnham.
Next month, Caterpillar will close its Decatur plant for a week. The company says the shutdown was caused by a drop in orders for mining equipment. Nearly 1,500 workers will be affected. 7:52, we'll take a break. Coming up on Fox Thing in the Morning, DonCrab.com at the Comdex Computer Convention. We'll see what's new. And sports headlines with Bruce Wolf coming up.
Originally, this song just had a flute and a guitar. They jazzed it up, gave it a little reggae feel, and it was #1 on this day in '83. The Australian abroad is the story there. Down under, men at work, 7:55.
Celebrity birthday time. Eddie Albert, 91.
Wow.
Aaron Spelling, 76. Glenn Campbell, 63. Even Peter Frampton is 49. And Jack Nicholson, 62. You still think of these people like in their 30s and 40s, don't you?
That's what happens when their old movies are viewed by all of us. Here's Bruce.
Thanks very much. And add another incident to the Scottie Pippen legend. There was the 1.8-second sit-out, the illegal handgun, the chair throwing, the various support payments, and now the drunk driving arrest in Houston. Somehow Jerry Krause is to blame for this. The Houston Rockets have confirmed Pippen was arrested for suspicion of driving while intoxicated shortly before 1 a.m. this morning in downtown Houston. Pippen played last night and scored 4 points in a Rockets loss to the Mavericks. Briefly, the White Sox beat the Mariners, same 2 teams today at 1 o'clock. The Cubs lost to the Astros 10-3. Those 2 teams play again at 1:20. The Bulls lost to the New Jersey Nets 99-87, and that's the sports.
Thank you, Bruce. 7:56. Time for a look outside. Ready?
Ready.
Join us now, won't you? Here we go. Spring on Michigan Avenue through the fog.
I know, it almost looks like Paris or something.
The tulips are in bloom. They are tulips, aren't they?
Yes, they're tulips.
7:56.
We'll take a break. More coming up on today's weather forecast. Doesn't look very nice out there right now. Later on, our random tape is a clip from the tacky cable access show from Rosemont. Models on Parade.
DonCrab.com went to the big computer convention, Comdex, at McCormick Place, and he's got a review of some of the gadgets and software. Next. The big 4-day technology conference and expo at McCormick Place, Comdex, ends today. I bet they didn't have a UNIVAC over there, Don, did they?
No, they didn't. They should have, because it would have improved the show, believe me.
Was it a bad show?
Didn't like it.
It was lame. It was lame. First of all, there was nobody there. I felt sorry for all the local companies that spent a lot of dough on their booths. There was nobody there to see them. with the exception of Microsoft. The big Microsoft giant drew pretty much everybody who was going to go to the show.
Well, you were good enough to take the Super 8 camera with you.
That's right.
So
we went over there and surreptitiously gathered some video.
We have some stories, and let's go to the videotape with DonCrab.com at Comdex.
We're at Security Software Systems taking a look at their two newest products, Lockdown and Cyber Sentinel. Now, Cyber Sentinel is a program for protecting you and your kids from going to places on the internet that they probably shouldn't go. But what it does is it doesn't block sites specifically, it blocks keywords and content. You can set up the keywords and the content that you don't want your kids to go to. Plus, it creates a log file, and that log file can be mailed to you to your home computer so you know when Junior is going to a site he's not supposed to be going to. A very nice product. It's done here locally, 29 bucks. Very nice. This is Security Software's other new product called Lockdown. Now, unlike Cyber Sentinel, which is basically meant to keep your kids away from internet sites that you don't want them to, what this does is actually locks down specific pieces of software on your computer so you, your kids, or anyone else can only run the software you want people to run on your computer. This means that Lockdown also works in an office setting or in a school lab setting because it encrypts the software and only you decide who gets to run it. Plus, you can decide what time of the day it gets to run. Let's say, for example, you only want your kids on AOL, say between 3 and 4 in the afternoon when you're home with them. You can set this software up to do exactly that. Lockdown from Security Systems. Big news here at this show, Windows World and Comdex are all the 2000 generation products from Microsoft. These products offer new features, new functionality, but the most important thing is they're fully integrated. Windows 2000, Office 2000, MapPoint 2000, all these are new versions of software that Microsoft has already come out with, but they're now fully integrated, both for consumers and for business users. Tripp Lite is a local Chicago area company that makes power protection products. You're probably asking yourself right about now, what in God's name is a power protection product? Well, it's basically two things. A surge protector, which protects your equipment, your computer, your home electronics against any kind of a surge in the power line, like a lightning strike. Or a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply, which does that, plus adds a backup battery. We have two of them in front of me right now. These are fairly inexpensive UPSs, and this one provides protection against surges going through the telephone line. So it's called Internet Ready, because that's something people don't realize. Often you get surges through the telephone line. The smaller and cheaper model does not have that feature. Otherwise, it's the same kind of unit, a surge protector plus a backup battery.
Hey, they had good music there
like
at McCormick Place.
Yeah, Comdex is the happen place for music, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Bop, boop, bop, boop, boop.
Now, we're told that you have a virus warning for us.
Yes, yes. Warning, 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 a dangerous virus. This
serious
is bad.
virus, right?
The CIH virus is going to hit on April 26th.
Which is Monday?
Which is Monday, and it cacks your computer. That's all I can tell you. It erases your hard disk. It gets rid of your boot sector. This is for Windows computers.
And you get it through attachments?
Yes, mail attachments. So do not decode email attachments from people who you've never gotten email from before, because it could have this virus in it. It's a bad one.
CIH?
CIH.
And once you get it,
well, what you should do is make sure you have the latest version of your antivirus running on your system right now, because that will get rid of this virus.
Okay, great.
May your computer stay healthy, and
Absolutely.
you, sir. Thank you. DonCrab.com, and we'll be back after a break with the news update, a live report from Colorado, also weather and traffic news.
And don't miss today's 15 minutes of something. We'll find somebody to talk with David Spade.
Welcome back to Fox Thing in the Morning, Chicago 7 to 9 a.m. information service. We have news, weather, and traffic every 10 minutes, plus more. I'm Bob Surratt.
I'm Marianne Murciano. Good Thursday morning. It's April 22nd. It's 46 degrees at O'Hare. Cloudy and foggy. You can expect some showers and storms today with a high of 55. Here's what's in the headlines at this hour. Police will reportedly announce charges as early as today in the murder of 11-year-old Ryan Harris. Columbine High School will likely remain closed for the rest of the school year. Police say the site of this week's deadly shooting rampage will be a crime scene for some time.
NATO says its forces hit a presidential command post in Belgrade during the latest round of bombing. Serb officials claim it was one of the homes of Slobodan Milosevic. Scottie Pippen was arrested in Houston early this morning on suspicion of drunk driving. The Bulls lost to New Jersey 99-87. White Sox won last night. They beat Seattle 2-1. The Cubs lost to Houston 10-3. More in this morning's news stories coming up momentarily. Also, today we'll go outside in the fog here and find a prospective interviewer. 15 minutes of something. David Spade, the subject.
In our random tape today, cable access, one of the tackier shows. Models on Parade, 8:07. Let's get a look at the weather. Rick?
Yeah, thanks very much, Maria and Bob. Cloudy, as Bob mentioned, but the downtown area not too bad. But notice the ceiling, that's the length of, that's actually the height of the cloud base above the ground, down to about 200 feet. Our quick look forecast shows temperatures only get up to about 55. Cooler near the lakefront once again, where it's been pretty much in the low 40s. The last couple of days, actually upper 40s. This is the rain currently. This is a Doppler radar taken off the computer about 5 minutes ago, showing one batch of heavy weather across northern Cook County, moving into Lake County, but yet another round of showers and some very heavy thunderstorms beginning to move into southwestern sections of the metropolitan area as we speak. Notice the precipitation generally bypassing the downtown area, but this whole area will generally move off to the east as the day wears on. So pretty much all of us going to get into some of the heavy rain before the day is over. A lot of fog out there as well. Visibility is down to a half mile at both O'Hare and Midway. They're probably not even flying into the lakefront airport. There's visibility there down to about a 1/16 of a mile. Temperatures right now generally in the 40s, but here's the big storm system. A lot of mild moist air being pumped northward over the warm front. Cold air on the backside will produce anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow today in the Denver area. That's kind of not out of the far from the question from snow for them, but notice the thunderstorm is beginning to move through Chicago later on tonight into tomorrow, but by Saturday it pretty much should all be over with finally. Forecast for today, some morning dense fog and remaining cloudy. Showers and thunderstorms likely, high of 55, 50 right along the lakefront. Cloudy tonight, more rain possible. Some of it could be heavy. And then a damp and chilly day tomorrow. I think much of the rain will probably end by the afternoon, but notice temperatures holding only in the mid to upper 40s, and then the pattern finally changes, as the 5-day forecast shows on Sunday. Sunday could be a pretty nice day around here, and it gets better into Monday. It should. We're getting into the end of April.
Thanks, Rick.
Takes a while.
Yeah. Time here anyway. Time at the automatic tone signal now will be 8:10.
Hello again, everybody.
Thank you. Where's Harry? We talked to Steve Stone this morning. Did we explain the book title? Because in all those years, that was the sentence Steve Stone heard from fans more than anything else. Where's Harry? Mm-hmm. By the way, the kids are here for Take Your Daughter to Work Day, and you saw them a few minutes ago having a good time. Daughters of our staff. Marianne, your daughter is there. Mm-hmm. And you brought your son. Yeah, because that's a good thing to do. I brought my son, too, today, by the way. Is Dominic still there? He's not playing with the rest of the kids. You having a good time at Dad's place here, Dominic?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to come back first thing tomorrow.
Okay. All
right. Are you bringing him back tomorrow?
I don't think so.
Stay home, Dominic.
Let's get to the traffic. Here's Sheila White at 8:10.
Morning, Bob and Marianne. This is downtown, the Magnificent Mile, and we are seeing fog in the area, and that is why we are on the ground. We got a problem that we've been watching out near the Braidwood exit on I-55 on the northbound side. All lanes are blocked. A rollover semi that was carrying rice. Rice is all over the road. They've been trying to clean this up for quite some time. Your detour is northbound. You can exit at Route 47, go north to Route 113, then go back over east to re-enter I-55. This is going to be going on for a while. Only one lane is open southbound, so we've got delays out in the area. Now, checking out the travel times, the Eden Strip, Lake Cook into the Kennedy at 20 minutes. It's a lot heavier going outbound. Your delays still out to Gulf, but your travel time a little bit heavier at 45 minutes. In on the Kennedy from the airport, 40 minutes into downtown, 25 from the junction, and in the express lanes you're looking at about 18, heavy on the outbound side all the way out to the airport at 50 minutes. The Eisenhower is not nearly as bad as we've seen it over the last couple of weeks. It's 50 minutes into the post office, still heavy from 53 to Mill, and then from Des Plaines most of the way through Sacramento. About a 36-minute trip in from Manheim, 45 on the outbound side. Stevenson is heavy through both roadwork zones. It's 55 now in from 294. In on the Ryan, 35 minutes from 95th. The earlier accident we had on the Bishop Ford at the Ryan is now gone. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy from Wilson down to North Avenue. Your travel time 23 minutes, 18 heading northbound. And if you are traveling out in the area of northbound 55 near Braidwood, just keep in mind that rollover semi is still there. And that is traffic. Bob and Marianne, back over to you.
Thanks, Sheila. 8:12.
Let's get to the news with Mike.
Thanks, Mariette and Bob. Good morning again, everyone. Murder charges may be filed today in the Ryan Harris case. The Daily Southtown reports prosecutors will charge Floyd Durr with the killing of that 11-year-old girl. The Englewood man is already in jail on unrelated charges, but he's been a suspect since October when DNA tests linked him to the Harris crime scene. A Downers Grove man is dead, and the town's police chief is